Our post-course efforts going forward will center around two main themes. First, and more importantly, helping U.S. and Korean businesses take full advantage of the course FTA. Secondly, dispelling the lingering misperceptions about the free trade agreement. Now, the misperception we hear most often is that the course FTA will send American jobs offshore. The reasoning seems to be that the NAFTA and China's accession to the World Trade Organization had that effect, so course will too. The problem with this argument is that Korea is not Mexico or China. China and Mexico and other developing countries, which is a U.S. FTA partner, have enormous supplies of poor, unskilled workers who are willing to work for low wages and in substandard conditions. But this is not the case in Korea. We are a developed country with an advanced economy. Our workforce is well educated. Koreans have the highest high school graduation rate among the OECD countries, 98%. And our 2011 unemployment rate was just 3.4%. Korean workers are well paid and highly unionized, probably even more unionized than the American workers rate. I bet any American company that goes to Korea looking for cheap labor is going to get disappointed. Another misperception is that Korea plays a large part in the U.S. trade deficit, and it will be worsening with the implementation of the Course FTA. Let's look at the broader U.S.-Korea economic and trade relationship. Pre-Course, the U.S. has a global trade deficit of $560 billion in 2011, but Korea had a very small part in that. The U.S. trade deficit with Korea was $6.3 billion, or less than 5% of the bilateral trading volume. Compare that to the U.S. Trade deficit with other major trading partners last year, like $282 billion with China, or 47% of the U.S.-China trade, $58 billion with Mexico, $56 billion with Germany, $44 billion with Japan. You can see now that the Korea-U.S. trade relationship is pretty balanced. President Obama said during his trip to Detroit with President Lee in last October, quote, "Our trade is basically balanced between the United States and Korea. They buy as much stuff from us as they sell to us," end quote. Another important factor that free trade skeptics overlook is the balance of private sector investments between our two countries. Here I'm talking about business investments such as industrial plant construction and modernization, not portfolio investment. Every year since 2006, Korean businesses have invested substantially more in the United States than vice versa. As you all are aware, Kia has a plant in West Point, Georgia. They provide jobs, direct or indirect, for tens of thousands of Americans. So Korea is bringing jobs here, not taking them away. And implementation of the Course FTA will encourage more Korean investment in the United States. That means even more jobs creation here in the United States with increased flow of business between the two countries. So let me give you a synopsis of what the Course FTA will do for the United States and for the state of Georgia. As I told you, Korea's average import tariff is almost 4 times higher than that of the United States, 12.1% versus 3.5%. All those tariffs will come down to zero eventually. The U.S. government estimates that Course will increase U.S. exports by as much as $1.1 billion and add as much as $1.2 billion to U.S. or United States GDP. And the U.S. government also estimates that it will create or support the at least 70,000 more American jobs. KORUS doesn't just eliminate tariffs. It also has a comprehensive state-of-the-art golden agreement section on trade and services, including financial, telecommunications, broadcasting, express delivery, legal services, and other areas. For example, the legal services market will be open state by state to the U.S. law firms by 2017. So the U.S. law firms will be able to open offices in Korea, hire Korean lawyers, and represent Korean or Korean-based clients. Let's now turn our focus to Georgia. Georgia's exports to Korea have steadily increased, and in 2010 and 2011, it increased more than 40% year over year. This trend shows that Georgia is very well placed to take advantage of the new opportunities KORUS FTA has opened up. And you may be wondering, what's in it for Korea? The first and most obvious thing is the lower tariffs on our exports to Korea, exports to the United States, of course. I have too much time. I have worked too much time on the side of the US to KORUS here in the United States, which is the world's largest and sophisticated market. And the FTA also provides Korean consumers with access to a wide variety of American consumer products, many of which are widely popular in Korea. Ms. Tang once again talked about the premium outlet here. But if you visit Costco shops, retailer shop in Korea, it's really as much as bustling here in the United States. And the Costco retail shop is just full of American products, consumer products. And I have an extended membership to the Costco. So third, the KORUS FTA will serve as a domestic reform package. The FTA will enable Korean businesses to upgrade a new level of competitiveness, particularly in the service sector. In addition, KORUS FTA offers a good opportunity to improve our regulatory systems by enhancing transparency and embracing international standards, global standards. Through this reform, we hope that the Korean economy will grow strong and competitive as we have done in the aftermath of the financial crisis and ensuing reform in the late 1990s. Of course, last but not least, Koreans see the KORUS FTA not just as an economic agreement, but as a crucial and necessary addition to the broader relationship between our two countries. In 2010, we observed the 60th anniversary of the breakout of the Korean War, which gave birth to the modern U.S. Korea alliance. About 2 million American young people served in that war. Some 36,000 of them gave their lives so that our little country on the other side of the world could be free. That number includes 727 young people from the state of Georgia. For the past 6 decades, the United States has stood with us as we grew from extreme poverty to prosperity and modernity. Korea today has a $1 trillion economy, as George said, and is the first country to make the transition from being a recipient of foreign aid to being a donor of aid to developing countries as a member of the OECD's Development Assistance Committee. I doubt that it would have been impossible without the support and protection we received from the United States for the past 6 decades. We see KORUS as an affirmation that the United States intends to stay engaged in East Asia. We see it as a cementing with friendship that has served both countries so well and for so long. In closing, I'd like to point out that the KORUS FTA enjoys wider support than any previous U.S. free trade agreement. 83 U.S. senators, including both from Georgia voted to approve it, and that was the most yes votes ever cast for a trade agreement. In the House, 278 members, including 8 members from the state of Georgia, voted to approve it. That too was an impressive affirmation of the U.S FTA. U.S FTA's widespread bipartisan support in the United States. Still, there are those Americans who oppose it, who fail to see any distinction between one trade agreement and another. After NAFTA took effect in 1994, its supporters declared victory and walked off the field. That left its opponents free to attack with little or no pushback from the other side. Today, 18 years later, some people blame free trade for the recession of 2009 and the current stagnant economy. We are determined not to let that happen to us. Even though the agreement has passed, we will not stop building awareness of the U.S FTA. We will continue to promote and educate businesses and communities so they can take full advantage of the FTA. The best way to do this is to demonstrate real-life examples of how the agreement has enabled companies and industries to increase their sales, profits, and workforce. It is already widely known that, other things being equal, companies that export employ more people than those that don't and pay higher wages. So if your company benefits from easier and less costly access to the Korean market as a result of the U.S FTA, I hope you will let us know. I hope you will let everybody know. We like to share the success stories. In the coming months and years, free trade detractors will no doubt be very active in trying to prove that they were right to oppose U.S. We need to be equally active in proving we are right to support it. We need your help, and we are ready and committed to help you. So finally, let me introduce a new website that our embassy has just opened on the day of the U.S. entry into force. It is called U.S Korea Connect.org. We hope it helps small and medium-sized business and learn more about the Korean market, how they can use the FTA to their full advantage, and navigate through the necessary steps to export goods to Korea and forge strategic partnership with the Korean businesses. It will serve as a platform to showcase success stories as a result of the FTA and give encouragement to others that want to expand their market. With all the benefits Georgia is well positioned to receive, I'm sure we will see many great success stories coming out of the state of Georgia. Please sign up for our monthly newsletter, follow us on Twitter, join our business letter, and be a member of our LinkedIn group. Thank you very much.